Hi, this is the Australian Aura Guy. Right now, we're learning about colours of the aura. For those of you just joining us, in our previous session, we spoke about auras in general, what they are, what they look like, and how they represent themselves. So they represent themselves through colour of the aura, the cut and the clarity of the aura, how sharp it is, how easy it is to see, then the complement and context of the aura. So, what colours can be seen together or are more likely to be seen together, and if you see two or more colours together, how to interpret them. And then we'll look at the change of the aura, how to change your aura, or is it possible to change your aura? But today we're looking at aura colours. Colour is usually the first thing people notice about the aura. When I look at an aura, when I see someone's aura, it's funny, I don't necessarily perceive it with my eyes. I can almost see it at the back of my eyes. It's something that kind of goes straight from the eyes to the brain. It's not something I think about. It's certainly not something I overthink. The danger you can run into is if you overthink the aura colour. It's one of the things I find is that different colours mean different things. So it helps to be able to understand what the colours you're seeing are. Now, the easiest way for me to do that, and it obviously varies from person to person, but was to actually sit down with a piece of paper and just start off with the colour of what I saw, and then put that colour in my mind, and then go with the first emotion that I was guided towards, or feeling, or representation. So, generally, as a rule, there are some aura colours where shades are important as well, but generally, as a rule, it's the first colour you see, and you think about it in terms of, well, what does that mean? So, I have several different colours that I more often than not see. Blue, like a dark blue, is physical balance. So it's very calm, it's very peaceful. I guess the associated imagery I get with that is someone floating out in the middle of the ocean. It's just calm, it's peaceful. It's about being in the right place at the right time. And also it's about physical balance as well. So it's about looking after the body. It's about looking after the vessel. So in terms of eating correctly, in terms of exercising correctly. Then you also see purple. Purple comes across as more often than not, it's a royal purple, I like to call it. It's a dark purple, but it's got a real power behind it. And that shows up to me as angelic protection. So it's guides and angels who are with you, protecting you, helping you. Silver comes through as communication with guides. So I like to think of that one as almost being the answering machine for the guides and for the angels. So what you're noticing there is when you see someone with a silver aura, all of a sudden they'll be telling you about how they're getting messages from their guides, or they're noticing these really strange coincidences. And as we all kind of know, there's not always such thing as coincidence. So pink is another one where shades can matter. Light pink is more of I like to call it almost a baby pink, and that one's positive female energy. So that's relating to, I like to relate that back to love. That's the thoughts and feelings and emotions behind love. Now a dark or more vibrant pink, more vivid pink, that's more about happiness, about genuine affection. Then you've got yellow. Yellow comes across as health. So if you're seeing someone with a yellow aura, they're in good physical health. Mustard colour, that dark kind of yellow colour, that can indicate a physical illness. Another one is orange. Orange I see as determination. That quite often, and this will be covered off later in more detail, but quite often orange can be seen next to red. And red is love, intensity, or passion more often than not. So you might see those two together simply because passion, what you're passionate about, will drive your determination and so on. Determination will be fueled by passion. So something you want to strive for, and it's then the determination to go out and do it. White is a pure aura. It's very calming, very serene. It's very clear, crisp. Then you've got, I like to call it a forest green, is metaphysically balanced. And by forest green, what I really mean is, if you think of that imagery, it's about walking through a forest. It's about having the cool breeze, a little bit of sun, but just that bright, deep, rich green of the grass, of the trees. It's just knowing that everything is in its right place metaphysically. So quite often you'll see that in someone who has been doing yoga, has been doing meditation, has been kind of nourishing and taking care of themselves from a metaphysical point of view. Black is a bit of a difficult one, and I say that because it's difficult. It's kind of like the death card in a tarot card. People can freak out about black in their aura, and it doesn't make you a monster. Black is it's more a negative space. It's more of a kind of nothing's there, or something's missing, or something's lacking. So example, if I saw a orange and black aura, I'd be saying to myself, well, how I read that is someone is trying to focus their determination towards a goal, but it's interrupted, it's lacking, they can't quite get there. Then you have gold. Gold is a god or a Christ-like energy. It's Archangel's divine. I always think of gold energy as doing, or a gold aura as doing good for the sake of doing good, not for the sake of the reward. It's acting in a selfless manner. It's acting for the higher good, regardless of what you personally want. And then you have grey. Grey quite often shows up for self-work. That was probably my most recent aura colour, with perhaps the exception of, I think you'd call it teal or aqua. That one shows up more as training needed. As grey, grey is self-work. The aqua colour is more around going on a course, developing a more deeper understanding, a deeper knowledge. So when you see the colours, the key thing is to understand or try and understand what they mean to you. I can only go off what I see them as, much as you can only go off what you see them as. So the easiest thing to do is sit down and think about the aura colours you see, and then let it resonate with you. Rest on it. Put your mind towards it and just see what comes to you. I guess the key thing is that there is no right way or wrong way to process the colour. It's your way. And the way that I do it is more looking at, as I say, looking at the colour, looking at the cut, looking at the clarity. So what else is it telling me? How can I go deeper and give more detail to the aura rather than just a colour? Is it two colours together? Is one colour the overpowering colour or the more dominant colour? And how can we change it? And those aspects we'll cover off later. But today I really wanted to just address the colours. So shades really can mean something, as I say before. So if you have a bright blue or a deep blue, it can be a calm and a peaceful, and it's about physical balance. If you have a lighter blue, that's more positive male energy. So that's almost the counterpart to the positive female energy. So positive female energy is the thinking and the thoughts and the feelings around love. Positive male energy is more the actions around it. So it's the hugging. It can be the more romantic aspects of it, but it's about that balance. So it's about letting that masculine energy flow through, and really feeling that the person's aura that you're reading is absorbing that love that's out there. So they might be in a relationship. They might have someone who's special to them. They might have some wonderful kids who just love them and are just super huggy, and that's awesome. We also look at, the yellow and the mustard yellow. Well, there's a shade difference, but it can alter the aura completely. One is of health and one is of illness, really. So you're looking at someone who has a physical illness, so they've got a cold or they've got something maybe perhaps deeper. That's when you get kind of a mustardy colour to them. I think the only aura I haven't covered yet is the dark brown aura. That's probably the hardest one to cover because there's no easy way to say it. Dark brown is indicative of a bad metaphysical place. It can be very unsettling and very raw. Generally, as a rule, it's the one where you see and you notice all of a sudden that when you see dark brown, you instinctively want to walk away from it. You instinctively know that it's not a good place to be near. I'm always cautious of dark brown. As we say, as we'll develop later on, aura colours can change. It's a reflection of your soul, though, and so I always worry with dark brown that what else is out there, really. Sometimes the aura colours can come through in different ways. So they can be sharp, they can be more muted, they can be bright, they can be sparkling, shimmering, cloudy. That's all indicative more towards the cut and the clarity of it. But it's also something to kind of help you step beyond just that initial read. So by all means, understand what the colours are, but realise that each colour works differently and each colour can be presented to you in a different manner. That's all for now, but please follow through on my next session, which will discuss cut and clarity of the aura and how to recognise what that looks like. So how to understand what it does, how it interacts with the colours, and how to go from there. Thanks very much for listening. I really appreciate it and look forward to sharing more with you soon.